You're listening to Two Chunks and a Hunk. Movie musings for mostly everyone.
And welcome to Two Chunks and a Hunk. My name is Jordan Wonders, and this week I'm your hunk.
I'm Dojio Midnight, and count it down with me, lovers, and raise your glass to those three little words that we all want to hear. Let's get hunky.
And I'm Carter, and we're just passing Rodeo Drive. Did you ever shop there? I did once. It was a hunk mistake. Big hunk. Why are we so hunky? Why are you so hunky?
That's the first time anybody's ever quoted one of the outtakes from the movies.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning.
Is that an outtake?
That's an outtake, my guy. That's apocryphal. I don't even know
That's
if we can actually say that.
I'll take it, dude. I didn't even finish the last 20 minutes of this movie anyways.
He's blooping out on us over here.
I love it.
That's why
I love a good blooper reel. I'll tell
honestly,
you that.
blooper reels was good in this one, wasn't it?
I love a good blooper reel.
Good bloopers.
Love
well,
some good bloopers.
I'm the hunk because I'm in love.
Hey, I'm the hunk because I'm in love.
Wild.
And I'm the hunk because I'm in love.
Who are you in love with?
Chelsea.
I'm in love with Callie. And Doge doesn't love anybody.
I'm in love with my wife.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
You guys remember from Borat?
You cut out. You want to take that one more time since you cut out?
You guys remember?
I've never seen Borat. It's because
the funny line from Borat. I'm in love with my wife, like Borat.
No,
remember?
It went away again. It's so weird.
My wife.
Unplug your mic. Plug it back in.
You want to plug your mic real quick?
Click. Unplug. Plug.
Oh,
I'm in love with my wife.
I guess we'll never know. Today we are discussing
Jessica.
We're discussing.
Well,
Jessica.
we're not talking about
her
her.
pros, her cons, her merits, her
little bit about
demerits.
Jess.
No, we're talking about a movie
Demerits.
all about love on this Hallmark's greatest gift to the world.
Mm.
The holiday all about smooching. Holiday all about hugging. Holiday all about love. Got a holiday about love. And this movie, named after the day itself, is known as nothing else other than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Oh, sorry, my fault. Valentine's Day is what the name of this movie is. We said the wrong movie last week. It's Valentine's Day, of course.
Hey, y'all need to get your tickets, by the way, if you haven't yet. We're a week out. You can grab them on that Alamo Pass.
Valentine's Day's been out for 13 years. We don't need tickets.
Valentine's Day.
Just watch it on HBO Max. It's easy. We're talking about Valentine's Day, the ensemble cast movie from 2010, directed by Princess Diaries hero and Pretty Woman legend, Gary Marshall.
Oh, Gary Marsh.
Little bit of G. Marsh. And I'm going to need a synopsis before we can move legally any further.
This week's IMDb synopsis has no credited author, which, of course, means that, as did Athena in the days of old, spring forth from the head of Zeus, ready to give wisdom to the mortals, this synopsis sprung forth out of the ether.
No, you're doing
intertwining couples and singles in Los Angeles break up and make up based on the pressures and expectations of Valentine's a day.
I guess IMDb stands for, dang, boy, because that was a short synopsis.
I'm making up for last week. I have an allotted number of synopsis minutes per month, and last week's synopsis was like 3 or 4 paragraphs.
We dropped statistically 200% of our listening audience during your synopsis last week. So I think that's
crazy.
We actually did get feedback, a lot of feedback about that synopsis. And it's
People
not
loved
really
it.
Doge's synopsis. He didn't synopsify that. He just shared someone else's.
No, it's Doge.
If
People
we're trying
loved
to
it.
protect the innocent over here.
I mean, I got a lot of letters about it. People are like, "Dang, dude, how do you podcast so good?" And I was like, it comes to me. You just got to read.
mean,
It's easy.
just find the
If
big
I
blocks
crashed
and
my
read 'em.
car into my neighbor's living room, I didn't make the car, but I sure as heck drove it straight through their house, huh?
Yep.
Maybe. I think I need to see the accident report. You can't be sure.
Well, my insurance situation's a little weird right now. I'm gonna have to get in touch with you maybe at a later date about
the
this
way
accident.
I see it, the house was moving towards the car.
Why'd you put a house there? That's where I'm trying to drive. I think I'm gonna do something a little crazy.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Finally.
He's usually so even keel and regular.
I'm so predictable and normal, but this time I'm getting a little wild.
okay.
I'm gonna super dump, and I think
Ooh.
it's gonna.
On today, Valentine's Day.
If you're
You're gonna do
listening
that
to this
today.
podcast right now, I want you to hear me. You don't know her. She doesn't know you. You don't have to defend her. Taylor Swift is terrible.
Yeah.
I know it was stunt casting. I know it's a bit that they're in this movie. Every moment that Taylor
They were
Swift
dating
was
at the
on my
time.
screen, good
Yeah.
for them. Every moment that Taylor Swift is on my screen is agony. She makes Taylor Lautner look like an Academy Award winner. I understand the appeal of him now because next to her, he's unbelievable. Every scene she was in killed every ounce of momentum that anything was trying to get
Did you
started.
see all the Easter eggs she dropped for her upcoming era in this though, dude? It's wild.
I can't imagine
She's a
caring
genius.
about anything less in my entire life than the fact that Taylor Swift even has a lucky number, much less what it is. Get it out of my face. I wanted to. I honestly, it made me dislike her music watching this movie.
Wow.
I saw this movie, and now I think she's a bad musician because of this movie.
Oh, no.
It is the
That's
worst
too
thing.
much.
I'm just kidding, Carter. Let me
No, you
have some
don't.
hyperbole.
Okay.
Just let me finish. It is the worst acting I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think it is because I saw worse acting in this very movie.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
It's not, even, it's not even humanly
No, you
possible.
didn't.
Promise.
Are you gonna super dump Taylor Lautner?
No.
No, he's
Good,
better than
because
her.
that's tired.
The
that's
only person
boring.
that even came close to how bad she was McSteamy, who might as well have been a cinder block brought to life. But
What do you
Taylor
mean?
Swift was even worse.
No.
0 out of 10. Super dump.
She was the second
Don't
worst.
even have to think about it.
Who was
She's
worse
the
than
worst part of this
Carter?
movie.
My
Who is
super
worse?
dump for this movie.
Which
Yes.
hang on, which actor
Happy
in this
Valentine's
movie?
Day, Taylor.
Which actor in this movie was worse than Taylor Swift, the non-actor?
I won't argue that Taylor was really bad.
So
Really bad. The worst actor in this movie, and I'm bring it on, is Ashton Kutcher.
Whoa, not a chance.
No.
Not a
It
chance,
looks like
dude.
He stumbled upon an improv crew the whole time.
There's a lot
None
of
of
times
his
that he
reactions-
messes up his lines.
None of his reactions make sense. The
His
moment
eyebrows
when
don't
he
move?
actually gets told, I don't want to
Ever.
marry you. And he's like, okay, I think my cue now is to go talk to the dog, which is awful writing. And be like, okay, dog, will you at least stay with me? He's so bad. I could pick a stranger off the street and they would have done better than that. It was.
You couldn't pick Taylor, though.
I know.
What if
Here's
the person
thing.
you grabbed was Taylor
think-
Swift?
What made Ashton above Taylor for me barely is he just had so much more time. We made Ashton Kutcher what felt like the central story, right?
Yeah.
In the ensemble cast, there's usually one story that's kind of carrying a little bit of everything, and it was him. And what a waste of time. What a waste of time. He should not have been the central character. It was really bad.
I blame the script for Ashton. I blame Taylor for Taylor.
Okay.
Now,
That doesn't mean
Here's-
it's like, oh man, I didn't really like the 3 minutes that I had. Well, yeah, but I really didn't like the 30 minutes that I had.
Hey,
it just
that's
was
fair. That's fair.
more bad.
That's fair.
Not good.
Quick free advice for everybody listening. If you're planning on proposing on Valentine's Day, maybe brush your teeth
Talk with
first.
your partner before that.
Just brush your teeth first. Even that's a big step, I think. Can you imagine living in a world where it's like, bam, 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 hit the alarm, wake up. We've been together for a long time. That is
It's not happening.
Insanity.
It's not
Absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
That they wrote. I mean, this script
Have I told y'all
sucks.
Yeah.
the story about, it's really sad. I don't know if I want to tell it on Valentine's Day, but it's also really funny. Is it worth?
Yeah,
From all the information
Yeah.
you know about this story, is it worth?
Let me
So there
think.
was a scenario when I gave Chelsea some pretty big news as soon as she woke up. And I will not use names, but good friends of ours had a great dog they'd had for a long time. And I had received a text. Chelsea and I had both got a text. Hey, we're going to have to put the puppy down.
Oh,
Ooh.
brutal.
Like set it on the
And
ground, like not
can
pick
you
it back
come
up?
hang out with the kiddos while we go to the vet to put puppy down? Y'all, I wept. This was one of the hardest times I've ever cried is after this happened.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll tell more details when we're off of this podcast. But I was caught in this thing of like, I think Chelsea needs to know this. She would want to be here for that, but she is fast asleep. She's been sick for a while. She's exhausted. The dog, the sweet puppy's name, may he rest in peace, was Samson. I wake Chelsea up and she goes, what time is it? And I said, Samson's entire body is a tumor. That's the first thing I told her. And as soon as I said it, I was like, what? Like, I didn't know. There was no practice of like how to even, but she woke up to
It's like, wake up,
not
dad
really
died.
knowing what time of day it was. It was a nap. And so it could have been night. She didn't know. And I said, baby, his whole body is a tumor. And she understandably was a bit shocked at that revelation.
Sure.
I think I would be too.
Yeah, I don't think big news is meant for
Fresh wake, huh?
post big snooze. You know what
I
I'm saying?
don't think so. Good. No big news after big snooze.
You got to choose one. You got to choose
You
one.
have to choose.
You choose.
They can't-
You gotta
they can't
choose
happen.
Big news, big snooze.
They can't happen within 1 hour of each other.
1 hour.
If you
I
big-
would say 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes.
If you big snooze until 7:01, sorry, big news out of the question until 8 a.m.
7:31 for me.
Not a chance.
Just give me 30.
Recover from that big snooze before you get to big news.
Just give me 30.
Yeah.
By the way,
It was
also,
big news.
proposal shouldn't be a surprise.
No. They should not be discussing how many kids and dogs they want post-proposal. That's insane.
Zoinks.
What are you agreeing to? How long have they been together? A week?
Zoinks.
Yeah.
The honest answer is that they did not exist before the script summoned them into being.
Right, yeah.
Because this is the most. I'll super dump. No, okay, sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I don't want to cut you
Well, I was
off.
going to say, before we dive too deep into the minutia of the minutia of this movie, there. Ooh. Yeah. So this movie made 4 times the amount that it cost to actually make the movie. It was a $50 million movie. Hello. Because of the people, because
Right.
of the cast.
Right.
Julia Roberts made $3 million. I think it was like $12,000 a word. And it was $200 million is what it made worldwide. So here's the thing. We do have this acknowledgement. And fortunately, they don't all have to look like this, but there is the acknowledgement like, hey, more stars, more money.
Yep.
I think in the end, I would have preferred just to see all these people hang out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just give me a
and
round
give them
table.
a script.
Yeah.
I just want to see you guys hang out. Because yes, we have done, what are some huge casts that we've seen done well? Oceans,
Love Actually.
Love Actually, pretty big. I mean, this was huge. I mean, this
This was a big
This
deal,
is
though.
even bigger than Love Actually. This is
Yeah.
this is-
big.
This cast is ridiculous, which was
So,
almost my
it's
super.
got to be tough.
It's too big.
Yeah.
I was talking to Callie after we finished. This is a much better movie, not a good movie, but a much better movie. If you remove
Ashton Kutcher.
3 storylines, 5 people, I think.
Yeah.
You take out everything with McSteamy, Bradley Cooper, Julia Roberts, and everything to do with high school.
Yeah.
Because all of those stories are underbaked.
Yeah, the Emma Roberts side of things too. Yeah.
Yeah, gone. All of that. Taylor and Taylor, gone. Emma Roberts and her boyfriend, gone.
I feel like every,
Remove
like,
Julia Roberts and Bradley Cooper talking on a plane is one of the best parts of this movie. You get rid of it. I'm sorry.
You don't need
get
it.
rid of it.
No, you don't
'cause
need it.
The storyline's unnecessary. I guess the coming out story of the football player is convoluted and weird, and the reactions of people are bad. And he did it.
Yeah,
for
and
his
it's not
career.
thoughtful.
It's not
That's-
good.
It's so
No.
funny. Like within 48 hours, I had seen episode 3 of Last of Us and the Valentine's Day. And so it's like, hey, dude, let's ask everybody how they feel about this scenario. This felt like we've got 53 days. Let's get 2 hot guys. Because at least we can, that's an easier pill to swallow that it's an athlete that's gay.
Right.
It's like, that is not,
Yeah, you remove all of
that was
that.
so
You
disappointing.
extend out Grandpa's story so that he actually comes to some realization instead of just having a weird day and then being like, actually, I love my wife.
It made me sad. Gary Marshall does good movies.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
like
in
his
this
movies.
genre.
Yeah.
But it sure felt like he was like, man, Love Actually, I really enjoyed that movie.
That's all it was. Down to the radio.
We got to make sure that we've got really an old relationship with a kid. Kids got to be there. And they've got to love an adult. And you're just
love the kids storyline. If I'm being honest with you, I thought the sweetest part of the movie
really
was
sweet.
Jennifer Garner's reaction to him giving her the flowers. I thought it was so sweet.
We measure that against Liam Neeson's relationship to his son that lost
100%.
it. So you even gave me your best thing is not even really holding too much of a candle to
What it's copying.
one of So
No, I agree.
that's a bummer. And he's done things like New Year's Day. Like he's got a lot of days that he's done that have just a big cast. It's like tax season is a big movie for him. President's Day, Cesar Chavez Day,
Arbor Day.
Can't
forget that hit.
Yeah,
no, I
Tuesday,
agree.
That's a big one.
Tuesday. No, I agree. This movie is maybe the most overloaded, bloated movie I've ever watched. And I think
But that's also how it was pitched. I saw this movie in theaters with my roommate.
Oh, really?
Tommy and I saw this in 2010. Yeah, I was a junior in college because we were like, we have to. I was already fascinated with just anything that was just going for it. And this movie, even seeing the trailers for this, looked bad. We were like, this is not going to be good. We got to be there. The blatant product placement. I'm not saying Taylor Swift was a product, but she certainly is a brand.
Yeah.
In this movie was like,
It feels
we
like
watched
every
it-
piece of casting was equally stunt, though. Yeah. Like it really doesn't feel like there's a casting in this that is not stunt casting.
I don't know. It depends because I actually think there's several people that do fine and are charming.
They do fine, but the whole point of the movie is look at all these people we got in this movie.
Yeah, but then at that point, don't you think the chains move down the field a little bit for what qualifies as stunt casting when everybody?
No
is a big
way.
star?
Because I think this is stunt casting the movie. Like I absolutely think that's my super dump is that like not a single one of these characters is like actually a character. They're all character ideas.
Jessica Biel is. I like Jessica Biel's character a lot.
She's a character idea. She's a character start. Like all of these, it feels like, and I don't know, like the writing process with Gary Marshall was either like, can I do Love Actually, Gary's edition, or here's all these ideas I have for movies. I don't know how to finish any of them. Let's just jam them all together. Like nobody, like I would way have preferred an entire movie of Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx. That's a great movie. I would love to watch that movie.
Yeah.
It's out there if you want to see it.
Yeah, instead of 20 minutes here. I would love to watch an entire movie of Ashton, who's the best actor in this movie, and Jennifer Garner. Like that would be great. I would love to watch that movie.
Dude,
instead of 20 minutes of it here.
I genuinely give best actor in the movie to Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx. They're the best. They deliver the best performances. Jennifer Garner's actually great for me in this movie.
Jennifer Garner really
I like
works
Anne
for me
Hathaway too.
I like Anne Hathaway.
I would love an entire movie of Anne Hathaway and Topher Grace.
This should have been those 3 storylines with the kid thrown in on the sideline.
No, just pick one. Like, I don't know,
I'm okay
man.
with a multi-storyline movie. That doesn't bother me.
I'm okay with a
It's just
multi-storyline movie if they're not just character starts. Like,
But
I
if
think
there's only 3 of them, there's more room, you know?
Sure. I think so Crazy Stupid Love was the same year as this.
It was the year after.
Can you
but yes.
believe?
Was it really? Was it 2011?
Because I wrote
you
off
believe
Crazy
that?
Stupid Love because the trailers, the cast was so big on Crazy Stupid Love that I thought it was another movie like this. I thought it was another cash grab.
I think Crazy Stupid Love lands the plane a little better than, I mean, certainly better than this, but better than Love Actually
Crazy Stupid
as
Love's
well.
the top
Not
3
even a
movie of
plane.
all time for me.
But that is because it's a huge cast, but every single character is a character, not just a character's start. Not just like,
we
here's
don't
an
have
idea
time.
for a character we
when
could
you
have.
say huge cast, it's about a third the size of this cast.
Certainly. So that's what I'm saying is like, you can still do an ensemble cast. It doesn't have to be ensemble for the ensemble's sake. and it doesn't have to be the only description of the cast is ensemble, because I think there's like other words you can use to describe those casts. But I don't know. I just keep coming back to, and that's my super dump.
This is
That's
almost
what I
like
felt
a gang cast.
the whole time I was watching. It was like every single person is an idea of like, we could have a character like this someday. And like, that's as far as it got.
Yeah. I think the ones that do it very well are so hidden in terms of big casts. Because now I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, every Avengers movie, Glass Onion, Knives Out.
Yeah.
Like, these are all movies that have tons of big actors. And, maybe half of them are what we could consider whatever is subjective of like an A-lister.
Yeah.
But it's just like they have some kind of characterization that is done a little bit more thoughtfully.
Can I tell you guys something weird that's going to sound crazy?
Okay.
You love this movie.
I liked it.
I mean, I had fun watching it.
It's a fun watch. I'd watch it again. I would watch it again. It's stupid. It's cheesy. It sucks. It's like a 5 out of 10. And I'd watch it again. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was stupid and weirdly charming at several parts. There's just enough charm here to keep me interested. I could watch. I could watch a movie called Bradley Cooper and Julia Roberts sit next to each other on a plane.
That was great.
For
Honestly,
5 hours.
honestly, what it is I could watch a movie called Gary Marshall, because I think that's his MO, is like these like
These little vignettes.
deceptively charming characters.
100%.
I feel like he's got the market cornered on like, this is the most charming person in the world.
I think
He's
with
very
how
good at
frenetic it was, like the pace of like, we didn't really get much more than what felt like 2.5 minutes of any story at a time.
I agree.
Pop, 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 pop. Like that worked against it and for it. Because I was like, if I don't like these next 3 in a row, I know at least I'm getting back to the plane soon.
It felt like
And so that's
peak,
what was so bizarre about it.
like peak Game of Thrones, where it was like, we're going to jump around the entire continent. We're going to do 6 laps around the
It's like,
continent.
get Bran out of my
episode.
face. Show me what Arya's up to.
Yeah, right.
100%.
It's like, I know he still can't walk or see or whatever.
He's just,
I want to move on.
he's just rolling around at the speed of sound.
rolling
He's going to
around,
become
dude.
king one day.
Man.
Well, who has a better story? I think that so much of this movie works in spite of itself, and I'm unwilling to give any credit to the movie itself for it, and all the
You know what
credit
this
to the
movie
people
is?
on screen. Talk to me.
Dude, this movie is the McDonald's menu. It is literally,
Yep.
it is like hit. It's like, man, McFlurry's been there for me. Whopper's been there for me.
That's Burger King.
Sorry. McDoubles
And it's
been
actually,
there for me.
it's actually McDreamy.
McNuggets have been there for me. McDreamy's been there for me. McSteamy. But it's like, it's this huge thing that you never, ever think about consuming all of it at once, or that you possibly can. But it's like, I mean, I got bites. I got different, but yeah. If I got all of the McDonald's menu at once, I sit around and I look at all of that and I'm like, man, this makes sense. I like all of these things. Can't do it all. Can't have it
Too
all in
much.
this time frame. You
Yep.
got to give me more time because this is getting cold. This is going to melt, and I think that's my favorite, so I'm going to consume that first. But
Yeah.
I'm having to bounce around to try and eat everything.
But you take a bite of everything so you know what's actually good to get next time, what to focus on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. That's a great metaphor. Yeah.
And
I
it's
think
also cheap.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys what I want to focus on?
Yeah.
Who held my focus the entire time he was on screen? He had very few scenes at all.
George
He's credited-
Lopez.
No, not George Lopez.
I loved George Lopez, though. I did too.
My super pump for this movie is credited on IMDb only known as Tough Franklin. The kid Franklin, Jonathan Morgan Height,
With the shirt.
with
the
his
goalie.
shirt, who kept putting
your
his shirt over his head.
Super pump for this movie.
Loved that kid.
No.
He was
Insanity.
was
Insanity.
my guy. Everything he did was
like-
so funny to me.
It was
Loving
funny.
the design on the McFlurry cup. That's what
It
that is.
was funny. Not in Franklin's house.
He was funny.
His official credit is as Tough Franklin. They never call him Tough Franklin in the
Nope,
movie.
Not even one time.
I believe
for him.
that-
that was for the kid.
I
They were
believe
"You wanna
that
be tough,
Franklin- I believe that Franklin calls himself Tough Franklin.
for sure.
Franklin is the only character that I feel like exists when the camera is not pointed at him. Franklin's living his life and happens to be in this movie. Everybody else is performing for this movie.
Franklin reminded me of, I've got a buddy who coaches like little league, like soccer. And there's a boy on their team that just acts like a wolf the whole time.
Yes. Yes.
He'll be on all fours and just like howl
Yes.
the whole time.
Good.
It's a bunch of like 6-year-old boys. and he's just like if he falls down. I saw this kid fall down one time, and it was quite the tumble. And he
Which,
got up
first
and
of all, like seeing a kid fall down is pretty
Pretty
funny.
choice. Pretty choice.
Pretty funny
'Cause
every time.
They have rubber bones. It doesn't even really hurt them.
Yep.
But he just like growls a little bit and then just starts like licking his
Shut
arm.
up.
And then keeps playing.
Yes.
There is something vaguely O'Doyle about this kid that I really appreciate.
Mm.
Very Steve Holt about this kid, just screaming his own name.
Yes.
It's pretty
Yes.
fantastic. Yeah, I liked him. I would never in a million years elevate him to my super pump, but I liked him and I value you.
What did you?
know, as
What
a
could you
person.
possibly have liked more than him?
Oh, I'll tell you after this.
Who? Hey,
quick little break.
Who else? Who else gets an adjective in front of their name in the cast list?
It's a great point.
Queen Latifah.
Queen's.
No, I'll give it to him.
All right, yeah, no,
It's not an adjective.
it's also not our character name. Let's go to the shout announcements. Welcome to Shout Announcements, part of the show where we give shout outs and make announcements. Shout out to Paul Rudd. Always, first of all.
Shout out
Second of all,
Paulie.
Paulie. Next week, if you're wondering, why Paul Rudd? We're talking about Quantumania next week. Ant-Man
For
and the
real
Wasp
this
Quantumania.
time.
This actually.
Very
this
excited
time.
for it.
Did you guys know, actually, so one thing about this movie is that when Ant-Man gets big, you know, like how he gets small and then like at the airport in Civil War and stuff, he'll get big.
This is a joke for
I can
sure.
feel how
No,
stupid
it's not
this
a
is gonna be.
joke on this podcast.
Oh my gosh. Just say
Tell
it.
me about it.
When he gets big, though, they changed like the call list for that day of what actors have to report to set. They if he's going to be big in a scene, like they'll know before they show up because they'll call for Tall Rudd. And if he's going to be little, they
obvious. Why
if he's
didn't
going to be
I-
little, they call for Small Rudd.
Small Rudd was right there, and it was easier.
That's really good.
Doge, I'm going to let you finish out announcements.
You may be looking around and saying, on my desk, I see lots of things, but the main thing I'm looking at is that cord. Well, I'm here to tell you should be looking at Discord instead. And you can be a part of our Discord for $5 a month. And we're doing fun things on there, like messaging one another, complimenting my good synopses. But if $5 a month is too steep for you, you can join our Patreon for $3 a month. We have a lower tier offer for you where you'll get access to our exclusive bonus episode feed. Those are a good time. Usually, sometimes they're boring, I think, but most of the time they're fun.
Yeah. And you get extra votes in certain series. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we got the
rate and review this
hunkies.
podcast.
Got the hunkies coming up, so those extra votes
Yes,
are
dude.
gonna be a
Got
big
the
deal
hunkies.
for you.
Got the hunkies. The Oscars agreed with a couple things for us, I think, in terms of nominations. But yeah, looking forward to that. Can we also say what comes out after Quantumania? I think that's worth saying.
That is worth saying.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine
It's
Bear.
too interesting not to
We
review it
can't
for this
not.
podcast.
We can't not do it.
Cocaine Bear. That was almost our mascot like 4 years ago.
I
It's
know.
wild that it's a movie now.
It sucks that we came up with the idea of what if a bear had cocaine in his mouth and blood, and then that really happened in real life, and then they made a movie of it.
We gotta find a way to see this one together.
I wish we'd copyrighted that.
Mm,
Yeah, that'd be
I
fun.
feel like we should try and see this one together.
it's got to be a together watch, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. We can make it happen.
And that
You guys want to
has
come over?
been
I can give drugs to my dog Bear, and we could just have our own bootleg cocaine bear at home.
Sudafed Bear.
Sudafed Bear.
This is not a joke. He kept having bad allergies, so we had to put him on Claritin. You guys want to come over and watch Claritin Bear?
Oh, that's fun.
It's the prequel. It's a gateway.
Claritin's such a slippery slope, man. You gotta watch out. Claritin will ruin your life before you even know it.
Yeah, you don't want none of that.
And we're back. We're back in the show, the one that we do. I'd like to talk about my super pump, please.
Is it tough, Franklin?
It isn't, but it's adjacent.
Then I don't think I want to hear it, actually.
My super pump for this movie is that in the middle of a movie that is thoughtless at times and underbaked almost always, I really loved how seriously and sincerely everybody took the young boy. Was his name not Edison?
Hey, guess what, guys? His name is Edison, but Hector Elizondo calls him by his true name at a certain point in this movie. Did you guys catch
really?
that piece of throwaway dialogue?
No.
When Hector Elizondo reveals the true name, the true face of our enemy?
No.
He refers to this boy as Mr. E.
Oh, does he really? We found him.
You lie.
I'm
would make
100%
sense.
serious.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's been this boy the entire
The
time.
whole time. It makes sense.
13 years later, dude. That's
But-
wild.
I don't know. I really appreciated that every adult not only took Edison seriously, but like was really careful to not squash his little heart.
I know. It was really sweet.
I thought that the scenes with Ashton in the flower shop where he's like, yeah, let's give him the flowers, dude. He deserves it. Yeah, let's take him to deliver the flowers. It's Valentine's Day.
Yep.
This kid's in love. When his grandpa talks to him sincerely about meeting his grandmother instead of being patronizing or dismissive, when Jennifer Garner's character is really, really genuinely sweet with him and like thanks him for the compliment, but points his affection in a more appropriate direction. I don't know, man. It was
really sweet.
heartwarming to me, and it really worked. And that is the sole reason that I would not cut that storyline out, because I think that it is some of the most heart that this movie ever has is in Edison's storyline. Now, they did make him a grade A dork and a snitch, and I don't like either of those things.
Well, what do you expect? I mean, he grows up to be the
No friend
ultimate
of
villain of our
mine.
podcast.
Yeah, he's a total dweeb, and that girl's never going to end up liking him because he's way too dorky. He needs to get some edge. He's got to experience some heartbreak. But
He does
really
love Discovery Channel, and that worked out well for me.
okay, fair enough. But yeah, man,
it is.
I loved, that's my super pump. I really adored that storyline in particular. I thought it was really well executed.
Yeah. Mine is the undeniable, I don't know if I'd call it chemistry. Something works when Gary Marshall has Julia Roberts.
Yeah, for sure.
Julia Roberts is
Yeah.
my super pump. She earned every bit of the $12,000 per word.
Pound for pound, best part of the movie for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what that comes from. I think it's understandably, like, she's a great actress. She's won awards and stuff, and I basically enjoy her and everything that she does. It's unfortunate that there's behind the scenes, like we talked about her on Hook, about how awful she was.
Mm-hmm.
I think, wasn't it Spielberg that was just like, I'm never working with her again, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I felt like she kind of felt at home, like in a real cheesy way. It was like, hey, here's another like movie with a director that I love, and I know what
Yeah.
he wants, and I know what I can deliver. She just felt, she's the only person to me that it didn't feel like they only had 53 days. And it's probably because she was on a little set that was like a tunnel and
Sure,
then
yeah.
had an airport scene. Like
She
really
could have
didn't
shot all of
to
her
do-
stuff in one day.
Yeah.
This was the cushiest $3 million of all time. This is
Oh,
like
yeah.
when the superstar quarterback gets to become a sportscaster and they're making more money now. It's like,
Right.
yeah. But it worked. And I was trying to think of like in this menagerie of like so many different actors, if there's one that I could pluck out, would it make much of a difference? I do think if Julia Roberts isn't in this movie, it's worse for me.
Did you know that Jennifer Aniston and Jodie Foster both passed on that role?
Good.
Yeah.
She
Or
was third. She was a
is it
third
that they
choice.
passed or that they auditioned and didn't get it?
I read that they passed on it.
Wow.
I just can't imagine
she was
Gary
third
Marshall
wasn't
choice.
offered to
not
Julia first.
going straight to Julia for anything.
Well, I bet what happened is she had other things going on or something. And the only way to get her to do it was like, hey, we'll make you top billed for these 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll be top billed. You can, if you give us 4 days, we'll give you $3 million.
I don't
Like it's 250 words, y'all. It's a short essay response. $3 million.
I don't want to discount Bradley Cooper's role in The Charm either. I think he is an underrated
Yeah, he's great.
charmer in my book. And I think that him and Julia Roberts should be in stuff together because I thought they were great. And I think that any excuse to put Julia Roberts on a screen laughing, showing all her teeth and throwing her head back, that's a 10 for me, baby. I love it every time. And I love that Anne Hathaway is here because to me, Anne Hathaway is very much in the same vein as Julia Roberts, where she.
I mean, Gary thinks so too. Gary plucked Julia Roberts out of obscurity, plucked Anne Hathaway out of obscurity. In this one, do you think there's any part of him that's like, hell yeah, do it the third time again with Emma Roberts? Let's get another.
She
Yeah,
doesn't have
I
it. She
bet.
doesn't have it.
Right,
doesn't,
but was he at any point like, Julia Roberts, check. Anne Hathaway, check. Emma
Potentially.
Roberts, let's go.
Potentially.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, he's been able to do it before, so
I just think
I
that
wouldn't be surprised if Pride snuck in a little bit.
having Julia Roberts and Anne Hathaway in the same movie was really fun for me because I love them both for the same
It
reason.
felt like, I mean, it was a Gary Marshall reunion special. It was like everybody who's ever had a good time working with Gary Marshall is here
Yeah,
in this
the
one.
lady that worked at the flower shop is in Pretty Woman and Princess Diaries. Hector
Yeah.
Elizondo's here. You Broke My Brush is here.
Yep.
Paolo, that's his name. Paolo.
Paolo's here. Obviously, Anne.
Dude, the Paolo scene in this movie is utter insanity.
It's so dumb. Hey, let me just go on record and say real Southwest would never.
Let me go ahead and cover.
In actuality, Southwest would never.
Let me go ahead and cover the entire price of your ticket because in the last
You said
10
she's
seconds
like
have
Sunshine?
decided- yeah, what?
What?
What is that? And there is almost nothing more infuriating in a movie to me than a scene like in the hallway of the school with Ashton Kutcher and Jennifer Garner where she's not letting him talk, but also where he's not like, hold up. Just give me one. You need to hear what I'm actually trying to say. I don't know. It's just so...
That's what I'm talking about. Like this
Half-baked.
whole movie, everything feels like we could do this. This would be a cool idea for a scene one day. Which maybe that's what Underbaked is.
Yeah, it's got to be at least part of it, right? Because I think in a movie you would define Underbaked as just not well thought out.
Yeah.
It's fine, I suppose, but nobody thought about the details. Nobody thought about how to make it feel real or good.
Right.
And I think that's the disappointing part because there's clearly enough small elements here to make a better movie. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And instead, we take attention away from those small things and focus on the much, much worse things like Taylor Swift.
Did you guys feel bad for Jessica Alba in this movie?
No.
She's the only person that didn't end up with somebody.
I did not care about her.
Nah, she chose herself, I guess.
I'm
She
surprised.
chose her work.
I'm surprised that we did any more with her than simply her saying no at the beginning.
Right.
She should
I'm
have said
pretty
no
surprised.
instead of yes and then turning it around.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she came back and we had another scene of her checking into the hotel.
No, instead of yes, later no, she should have said no and then kicked off his Valentine's Day in a bad mood and let him move forward that way. I also don't appreciate that him and Jennifer Garner both moved on from serious love interests all in the same day.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day, though. You know, it's a special magic day.
Apparently.
Oh, man. I totally was expecting, with all the connections, the fact that some of them didn't really connect to other big stars in the movie was kind of funny to me. It makes sense, but like I was expecting George Lopez as Julia Roberts' husband. I was like, what are all of these connections going to be? And then when it turned out to just be somebody relatively random, I was like, oh, like why was I let down? Because I definitely got hooked on all the little connections that were being
Dude,
made.
let me tell you something. George Lopez almost always works for me, like all the time. I think he's charming, first of all. But we had the same discussion with Shark Boy and Lava Girl, dude. He was awesome in that movie, and he's awesome here. Do
you think Taylor Lautner unlocks something in him?
Yeah, I think that's
Lets it be his full potential?
the secret ingredient for sure.
That's so good.
Can we
Y'all
just-
Lautner is still bad, though.
Oh, he's terrible. Can we just talk about how the Taylors clearly were like, I'll be in this movie, but I have to be able to run and do flips or else I'm not coming on the movie.
Yeah.
And then Swift was like, if I can't have 13 somewhere, listen, I don't hate Taylor Swift as a person. I genuinely don't. And I think that she makes some good music sometimes.
Yeah.
But the 13 lucky number thing, I can't think of anything I care less about in my entire life.
Is she a The Rock situation? Where I was like,
I was
as
about to ask the same
an
question.
entertainer, yes, thumbs up, 2 thumbs way up. As a brand, exhausting.
Yes. You know
Okay.
what? Nailed it. I think that she puts on a great show. I think she's cool. I think as a person, she's very intelligent. She's talented. She's interesting. And then everything that has to do with fandom of Taylor Swift and anything about her beyond listening to her music passively, I can't stand.
Is Taylor Swift the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise of entertainers?
Whoa, chill.
There's just a bunch of
Something
fanfic online.
excellent Something excellent that I almost can't stand because of extremely obsessive fans.
I think that Taylor
Minions?
Swift as a whole is
Hey.
better than Sonic as a whole. Which is a sentence I never thought I
I
would
love this
say.
conversation so much.
I get where you're coming
But like, probably who's faster? Do you think who'd win in a race?
Okay, so let's do something really quick.
Do you mean to bounce from relationship to relationship? Because
probably still Sonic.
probably still Sonic.
So if Taylor and Dwayne
Sure.
are love the content, but the brand is exhausting.
Yeah,
I mean, these are also two of the most successful individuals in the world. So let's find other successful individuals that don't exhaust us with
I
their
have
brand.
no beef with either of them personally.
No. I'm not going against it. I'm just trying to play
I like
a game.
them both.
Like, because for me, it's like, hey, Beyonce, who just won the most Grammys of anyone ever.
yeah.
It doesn't feel like she has an exhausting brand.
Her
right?
brand is not
Correct.
exhausting. Correct.
feels like her head is down and she's just working all the time
Correct.
and doing whatever she wants and has a private life.
Yeah.
Does that make it far more juxtaposing now when we have the Dwayne the Rock Johnsons of the world and stuff? It's like, man, you don't have to do it this hard. You don't have to try this hard.
Yeah.
But do they have to have it to be that successful?
No, I think, well, they do. I think that's
Yeah,
the difference,
right.
right?
Mm.
Beyonce
There's
has
like-
a level of talent that
different
can
talent
carry
level.
her. Yes.
Okay.
And I think that The Rock and Taylor Swift at this point, The Rock is more an influencer than he is an actor. And I think that Taylor is more an influencer than she is a musician. The problem is they are both better suited to just be the first thing they started as and not an influencer.
Yeah.
And I think that once celebrity becomes, once you hit celebrity for celebrity's sake, it takes a specific type of personality to maintain interest and maintain
Yeah,
fun?
that's good, dude.
So like,
Who's our movie Beyonce then? Who's our movie version for The Rock? Meryl Streep has a ton of success. I don't know
Yeah.
if she's the most popular in the world.
Emma Stone. Emma Stone has an interesting enough
Clooney.
personality to where she could
Pitt.
be that
Yeah.
influencer type person. She could be famous just because she's fun and charming and not a good actor, but she is always working, always pops up in great stuff, and her name is enough to make me interested in something.
Yeah. You know, Cruise can lean a little bit more The Rock sometimes, can he?
But
He's got a brand a little bit.
His
Can I
personal
argue
brand
that
of like,
Cruise
I'm
isn't
the only person who's
self-imposed?
ever been in. What do you mean?
I don't think that Cruise promotes himself the way The Rock does. I think that he
Well,
just has a particular brand that he is protective of. And I would never say that Tom Cruise is a celebrity more than a movie star, because that's what he is. He's a movie star.
Sure.
More than an actor, he's a movie star. We've talked about these sort of subdivisions before.
And The Rock is a celebrity more than a movie star, more than an actor.
Bingo. Yes.
Okay.
I think
So
so.
we got to make sure that they've got other things they're endorsing outside of, so like a Ryan Reynolds or like
Yeah.
they've got products.
But
Would you say Ryan
to
Reynolds
me
is a movie star more than an actor?
Yes, he's a movie star more than an actor, and still a movie star more than an influencer, although the influencer side is growing. But I think he has what it takes to do it all fine without becoming exhausting to me.
Dude, I'll tell you what though, on this Valentine's Day, I love and am so thankful for the anomaly that is Vin Diesel, because he's none of these things and all of that.
He's not a movie star. He's really not an actor.
But he thinks he's everything.
Guys,
I love that
The
so
day that
much.
we're recording, February 10th, is the only time I've ever cared about a trailer release date. The trailer for Fast X releases later today.
Oh,
And
no
I cannot
Wait,
wait
what
for
time?
it. I don't know the time.
I'm gonna set a Google alert.
I'm like legitimately, I've never been hyped for like trailer releases this day. I'm so excited.
Vin Diesel is so interesting. You are right. He is not an influencer. He is not a movie star, and he is not an actor. He's just a dude.
He's also a singer. He's also a musician. He's on Spotify. He's
Yeah,
got 2 songs on Spotify.
That's true. What Vin Diesel is he's one of the last remaining Renaissance men.
That's true.
exist.
Guys,
just got an
12.
alert.
Hey, guys, 12 minutes ago.
It released.
Wait, it released?
12 minutes ago, trailer released.
Oh, it's only at 2.4 thousand views.
12
It
minutes
literally
ago.
just dropped.
Like it came out 12 minutes ago. Are we watching right now?
Algorithms can't keep up.
Let's finish the app.
Boy, I'm just
Well,
like minutes till Christmas.
That works out perfectly
I know.
because
I know.
it is time to rate this movie. And we're going to do that using the scientific cinema scale, which is perfect and as follows. The best thing we could ever say about a movie is own it, don't lend it.
Buy that poster.
The next best thing is buy it. That's followed by rent it and then stream it. After that is forget it. And last but certainly least, the worst thing we could ever say about a movie.
God hath forsaken us. I forget it. I really do.
Bye. Forget what?
Valentine's Day.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it happened. It happened. Thank you, Will and Tommy. Yeah, it's just not. Ashton Kutcher alone makes me not want to watch this movie again.
Who?
I promise you. I disliked him so much in this movie. And Gary Marshall, I almost want to give him props for managing this many egos in 51 days and quadrupling what this cost.
Yeah.
Like in the business world, way to go, dude. What a great economy of time.
As an investment,
But
excellent job. Yeah.
Yeah, great job. But I'm out.
I'm going to stream it. It's fun enough to put on in the background. Pay attention to some parts, but you could also like play a game on your phone or something during a good chunk of it.
Things in the background.
Don't be that. Don't be like that. I'm going to stream it. I'm going to stream it as well. It's stupid and it's fun. And
If it's only stupid and fun, doesn't that mean you forget it?
I will watch it again.
Dude, that was bizarre to hear me in my own head right now. And not be interpersonal me, but coming
I did
from
a
someone
perfect Carter voice.
It sounded
It's
so much
crazy.
like
I know that I will watch this movie again. I really enjoyed my time watching
Such
it.
a bully.
Even though I don't enjoy the movie itself necessarily. Yeah, I will watch it again. It's a stream. I wouldn't pay for it. God, I wouldn't pay for it. But I will definitely watch it again.
Gary's not seeing a cent from me.
Not this guy. So
I don't know why that turned into the Green Goblin at the end.
I thought that was a Carter.
You're not seeing a cent from me, Gary.
No difference to me. That's our rating. That's our official rating. We're standing by it. Valentine's Day, Gary Marshall. Get into it or don't. I don't really care. It doesn't.
Next week
doesn't affect me. Next week
we see Paul Rudd, Tall Rudd, and Small Rudd in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania.
Love it.
And Evangeline Lil.
Ooh.
And Catherine Newtiny.
I was gonna say Tinkle Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Less. Yeah, no, that's very good.
Oh yeah.
That's very good.
Michelle Pfeiffer. And
Michelle
Jonathan
5 foot.
and Jonathan-
Michelle 5 floors. And Michelle 5 inches.
Nice.
And Jonathan Miners. And Majors.
Ooh,
Majors, Jonathan
nice. And Marvel. So tune in next week as we discuss
Lil Murray.
the
Lilliam Murray.
Lillian Murray. I'm on board with that. I like that. Make sure you tune in as we discuss the next entry in the MCU. Hope it's good. I'm nervous.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I am.
Same.
No, it's going to be great.
Love that.
The quicker we end this episode, the quicker we can watch the Fast X trailer.
Yeah. To end today's episode, I'd like for each of us to say our names and which character from Valentine's Day we would drop into the Fast X universe. For 2 Chunks and a Hunk, my name is Jordan. Wonders, that is. And I would submit Anne Hathaway as her character from this movie.
On her cool little motorcycle thing.
No, she would be doing her phone business, but Dom would think that it's somebody he's like actually in love with. And there would be a whole plot about like finding his girlfriend, and then he would show up and she'd be like, "Oh, no, you didn't know what this was."
Dang.
Yeah, see, that would never happen because Dom's never been wrong about something in these movies.
That's actually a great point.
I'm Doge, and we're going to drop in Ashton Kutcher driving George Lopez's cousin's car.
I'm Carter and George Lopez.
In the flower van?
Of course. In the flower van.
Yeah.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
Easy.
Let's go watch this trailer. Bye.
Yep. Bye.